Hello and welcome to another English video of mine. Now before we get this video going, there's going to be a quick little announcement, and that announcement is going to be that, at least for those viewers who understand both English and German, that this channel is more or less going to turn into an English channel. We was speaking English. The second announcement is that I may be doing videos like this a lot more simple videos, where I'm going to use maybe my modern camera, maybe this one, but it's all going to be a lot more simple, because quite frankly one of the reasons why I didn't do YouTube a lot was because it was just too complicated for me. Now granted, of course doing YouTube isn't all that complicated, but it just never was favorable of me, and maybe this way it'll be a lot more easy. Although with using this camcorder here, which is my mini DV camcorder, I will of course have to do real-time capturing, which might get a bit annoying, but we will see about that. But I'm using this camcorder because I kind of like the way it records video. This gives me a feeling of watching old YouTube videos from back in the day, and yes, if you're wondering, it is 2020 right now. And B, the line input on here is quite decent. Now, it is an analog to digital converter from 2002, keep that in mind, but it's quite decent because it can take line level inputs a lot more better than the mic port on my Buds camera, and this has a headphone out for monitoring, so that's quite convenient. But without further ado, let's get into the video here. Today we're going to look at this Tascam 130 cassette deck. I got this cassette deck, I believe, a little bit over half a year ago from a local theater, and I was doing my work experience weeks at that theater, and one day we were cleaning out the basement and I found this. And if you don't know, Tascam is a professional division of TEAC, so it is a TEAC. Now I'm recording this because it will most likely be selling this deck due to it indirectly getting replaced by the Yamaha KX500 you may see up there, kind of. Although the Yamaha does currently have some issues, so as I tried to fix, but I didn't succeed, so I'm going to give that to a friend, at least hope that he will accept it, and he will fix that for me. But let's look at this deck. First of all, there's a power button. Let's just turn that on for you. Quite nice VFD, and you can see that thing with the level meters. I don't know why it's doing that. It's not supposed to be doing that, but it has always done that, so but yeah, let's have a look at the buttons. Stop, play and pause, that's pretty self-explanatory. So is record, and record mute is when you press that button, it applies 4 seconds of silence and then automatically goes into record pause. So this is for putting gaps between songs you have recorded. MPX filter, on or off, it's a little push button. And Dolby BC slider, it also has 8.6 Pro, so you may or may not be able to see up there. Rewind and fast forward, no music sets on this one unfortunately, that is one reason why I'm selling it. RTZ, no, you're not lucky, that's not some sort of tape tuning, that's just return to 0. So that's your 0 memory stop. Auto monitor. This is surprisingly a 3-head deck, and if we open the cassette door with the eject button, there's our head. It's a sit-seat combination head, but it works. A roller and a cap symbol that is always running. Pretty neat to see on a 90s deck. No light in the cassette row, unfortunately. It does have a remote sensor. You can kind of see that in there. It does not accept the codes from the one universal remote I have, aka kind of useless. Timer switch, also pretty self-explanatory. I'm already gonna put the tape in. Just have auto tape select. Add the selected Chrome. And then they have counter, that's the standard reset, and mode. It does have a stopwatch counter, but it's only a stopwatch. It doesn't calculate the timer winding or anything. Here's the headphone output with the volume control. Balance, so that's for recording. Pitch control, which is kinda neat. You can change the playback speed with that. And of course your standard input volume. Let's have a look in the insides. If I can get my body up here. Haha. In the insides we have the power transformer. It actually is multi-voltage, so you just have to solder it correspondingly in there. Power switch is on a low bridge. The board inside, this is of course not a very high quality screenshot, but if anyone wants to take a screenshot of the inside of the deck, there you go. Pretty simple. Pretty nicely laid out though. The mechanism is just your standard run-of-the-mill single capstan 2-motor Alps mech. They aren't terrible, but they are kind of cheap. So let's hit play here on a tape. This is a Denon HD8 recorded in my ABC KDV6 with Dolby B. Let's hit play. Kind of quiet, I think the song is ending here. Yep. So I can probably demonstrate the rewind because I prefer the first song more. So there's the rewind. And we'll exert. Let's get a push play. And we'll come on here very soon. The volumeter is very entertaining to look at. So I'll turn that down a bit because it's quite late at night. Let's turn Dolby B on. But that is quite a nice volumeter to look at. Normal counter and the minutes and second counter. That's pretty much it. It's auto monitor. I can actually see the back real quick. It's very straightforward, the back. That's like on any cassette deck. You get your line in and a model sticker back there. I don't think I can get in the frame. This camcorder's hooked up to 2 damn cables. Yeah, I don't think you can see that very well. So let's give you a direct hookup of the playback, and then we'll be trying the recording. So here is the cable, and let's go. That's the playback of this thing. It's not a bad deck, it's just somewhat unimpressive. But let's try recording. Again, quite decent recording, just not very impressive. One of the reasons why I'm selling it. Reset that actually, and I love how the reset applies to both. Oh, no, I think it actually resets. I forgot how this exactly works. Let's see. Stop. I think it resets. Yeah, it resets every time we put a tape in. That's cool. Okay, let's start the source here, and again, I'll give you a direct listen to this. No comment. So, there you go. That was a quick test, and you can actually see the view mirrors going crazy again. Yeah, something's up with them. But the buyer does know that, so... Yeah, but the recordings on this are not bad. Again, not impressive. You could hear a treble cut. It's, you know, for type 2, you really just won't be able to hear that. Still one of the more TDKs here. But, not bad. It's just not particularly impressive. Actually, let me put the lamp back up. It's just an LED, so it's not going to overheat, but you got light again. I think next time I'll mute the lamp. But yeah, that was the TX deck. Demonstrate the Dolby right there, and you can see the Dolby sounds absolutely fine. This is a thing with a lot of people. Sorry for getting into a little mini rant here, but the video itself is done. There's not going to be anything interesting coming anymore. It's just going to be me ranting about Dolby real quick. So, if you're not interested, you can switch off now. But one of the issues is I hear with people is that they always complain, oh, Dolby sounds so crappy and Dolby is bad. Well, the first thing is that coming is from people who usually have a two-header, which means that they can only listen to the tape after they've recorded it. And of course, playing a Dolby encoded tape back without Dolby noise reduction gives you a treble boost. So that's one of the reasons why people may think, oh, I turn the Dolby on, there's less treble. I turn the Dolby off, there's more treble. That's why Dolby is bad. No, you're just giving the tape more of a treble boost. And B, even people who do, you know, A-B switching comparisons and other stuff like that and say, oh, Dolby just sounds bad. Or some people even with three headers. The cause for that is most likely that something is not calibrated correctly with your deck. Because you could hear it sounded just fine on this deck, and this deck is kind of out of calibration too, so... You know, usually if you say you don't like Dolby, then there's probably something wrong with your Dolby. Now, granted, I'm not a fan of Dolby C, but that has more reasons than it's just not sounding good for me. And I know that the fact that Dolby C usually gives me issues with sounding good is simply because my equipment is not calibrated. At least Dolby C not sounding good if I play a tape back from one deck and another. Dolby C is somewhat sensitive, but at least I know that. And there are other reasons why I don't like Dolby C, but I don't want to make this the longest rant in the world. Anyway, that's a Tascam 130 cassette deck. There may be more videos like this coming in the future. There may not be. I will see how this will work. But at least the good old Sony mini disc. Mini disc, yes, of course. Mini DV. Got another YouTube video to record. Anyway, time to put the back modules on this. That's the only reason I really took it apart. And, clean it up a bit. Alright, thanks for watching. Woo!